Perfect. And we're going to get started. So, like I talked about the why are RYBP. So why are we doing this? Why are we starting to utilize the system a little bit more strongly and putting it into focus? And the main reason for that is that events and business meetings, even if they just are one-on-one in the coffee shop, are truly the most powerful ways to build your business, especially in this industry. I use the example a lot of Avon. They were a company that has been around for more than 100 years. So that being said, there's a lot of things that they were doing right. And if any of you know anyone who has been a part of Avon or have heard stories about the older times of Avon, they literally went door to door, the women did, and knocked on people's doors and shared Avon with them. And, that still happens today. We had a gentleman come to our door just a couple of weeks ago, and of course Nick brought him in, and we talked, and we actually ended up buying the books that he was selling. He was part of a network marketing company as well. They're great Spanish books for our kids, and it was perfect and timely and wonderful. But that is a very powerful example of how these approaches of this personal relationship and personal connection can build businesses, because it really gives you the opportunity to connect with people on a level that you may not necessarily connect with them on. It's also inviting your prospects to these business meetings is by far one of the most critical skills that you can develop in your business, because it's those invitations that are really powerful and are really going to allow you to continue to use the tool of the RYBP and the business presentation, whether, like I said, it's one-on-one or not, to build your business. If you can't get anyone to look at it or come to your RYBP, then you won't get anyone to join you. So obviously it is very important to have, that skill of being able to invite. So let's talk about how you probably feel right now. In the beginning, you can definitely feel a little bit lost. I know that my very first business presentations, and Ralph always used to joke, and Nick used to joke with me about how my first, opportunity presentations were truly horrible. And it's true, looking back now on how I've grown, they were pretty bad. And it's pretty amazing to me that people even joined as a result of them. But even though I didn't know necessarily what I was doing, the saying of you make up in numbers what you lack in skill is really true. And I'll say that again. You make up in numbers what you lack in skill. So if you're able to reach out to enough people and be very, genuine and honest and transparent and authentic and share with them what you're doing, if you reach enough people, even if the presentation is horrible, you'll get people to join you. The right people will decide to join your cause. So, it's really true that it's really important to practice that skill, because really it will never get better unless you do it. And the reason why now I feel like I have an amazing presentation that I have nailed down and can say forward and backwards and in my sleep is because I've done it so much. And that really is the only reason. And honestly, it in the beginning, when I was just starting out and kind of was feeling my way and learning my own presentation and how to share this wonderful opportunity, because in my head it sounded so wonderful. And I knew my passion behind why I was doing Radiantly You and why I was building this company. I knew what that was inside me. But if I couldn't articulate it, and if I couldn't communicate it to the world in a powerful way, Radiantly You wouldn't exist. So I knew it was something that I had to do. And, no amount of sending emails to people, using social media, or sitting, behind a computer was going to allow me to build the business to the level that I wanted to. I had to pick up the phone. I had to get in front of rooms of people. I had to be involved and connected. And for me, it didn't, just because I had done it a few times, it didn't mean I wasn't nervous. And I want to validate that nervousness that I know some of you feel and have, because it is true, it is real, and it does exist. And that's okay, though. And I can guarantee you, because I've been in that exact same position where some of you may be right now, that it will go away. It's really just a repetition, and it's really building that skill for yourself. I want to talk a little bit now. So those are the whys. That's why we need to do it, is honestly because you just can't connect in the same way. That excitement that you have, that passion. You know, you can probably tell that I'm smiling right now. And we say that all the time, but it truly comes across when you're sitting, you know, belly to belly with someone or you're over the phone with them and really, truly connecting. So that's the why, because it really is the most powerful way. But I also want to talk about prepping your mind, because there's a lot of mindset that's important to you going into invitations, to going into these presentations, and really the mindset part is important. And I want to give you guys this new perspective that I kind of heard, which is really the hunter versus the farmer mentality. And I know some of us who get so excited about our business and we want everyone to join and we want to share and share and share with everyone. We kind of go out as a hunter, only looking for customers or IWGs, and we kind of give that off. We give off that mentality, whether we say it or not. People can feel that we are really only looking for people to join, or we really want you to become a customer. And people feel that. They feel almost like you're hunting them. And I'm sure each and every one of you on the call, I know I have had an experience with someone who I truly felt like that was the only value they wanted to bring to my life, was that they wanted me to do something for them, whether it was to join them or to buy something from them. And that doesn't ever feel good. So I kind of want to give you the perspective of a farmer mentality. And farmers build, if you think about it in terms of like working their field and the crops and all of that, they build relationships, they build friendships, they build trust. And then eventually that trust transfers over into being a customer or joining your team. And I know some of you on this call have had that exact same thing happen, where, you know, it wasn't someone maybe that you directly approached or that you, really very clearly said, I want you to join, I want you to do this, but perhaps you invited them over to your house to check things out, and then they overheard some of your friends talking about it as well, or they're part of your customer group on Facebook or something, and they continued to see these posts of information and got interested and more interested and more interested, and then all of a sudden they're contacting you. Really, when we go and approach it with the goal to educate and empower people, we give off such a different mentality, and that's transferred over into our invitations and then transferred over into these business presentations as well. So let's do a little bit of recap about inviting, because I think that is a very important skill. Like we said, if you can't invite anyone and you don't get anyone to your living room to do a presentation, whether to the coffee shop to meet you one-on-one, then you're not going to be building your business. So what's one of the first things that professionals do? Professional network marketers, the first thing that they will do to someone before anything else is to invite them to a meeting, a call, or an event. And you might be like, really? That's the first thing? And when I say professional network marketers, I'm talking about people who really this is what they do. And, you know, there are 6-figure, 7-figure earners. These are the professionals. This is what they have done. They've really, created their system. They have a strategy to what they do, and they've take it very much as a job. I'm not saying that they work 60, 70 hours a week. No way, because of the way our industry is, it's not required. However, every hour that they do spend is spent like a professional. Now, this personal interaction is critical to building that relationship. They're inviting them because they want to start building that relationship. So they're inviting them to an RYBP. They're inviting them to hop on the opportunity call. They're inviting them to maybe a larger Radiantly You event that they're having. Those are the things that they do. The second thing that they do is then use a tool or a video. So you're probably wondering, why the RYBP first? Why would you have that kind of, event, meeting them in a coffee shop, phone call thing first, before even the tool? And I know even our system talks about using the tool, and it is a very awesome tool, and it is a great way to do it. But the event first really builds that personal interaction and trust. So perhaps for some of the people, sending them right to the tool is a good thing, because you know them, they know you, and you're immediately sending them over. But if it's someone that you kind of want to get to know, or you might not know that well, that personal interaction will build that trust. It's also kind of like a social proof or validation, because you're going to have conversations. You're going to say, hey, and if they can relate to you on a certain level, you're going to validate the concerns that they have. If it's that they haven't been able to find a product, or perhaps they're at home trying to make all of their own products, or perhaps they've never even looked at the ingredients and they're super overwhelmed now because you've just taught them like that they had horrible hidden chemicals in their homes. So that social interaction, that proof, that validation is a really important part. Plus, it's also firsthand education. You're educating them about the products, you're educating them about the ability to have this amazing side opportunity that they can do part-time spare time that can create another stream of income for their family. Those are all a great reason why those events work. Plus, it really does build excitement and urgency. If you think about the times when you sat in a room, perhaps at an event, or even if you came to the launch or you were at one of my other small meetings, there's so much excitement in that room. And I've had so many of our IWGs even say when they left, a little presentation that I did, or, that Nick did or something, that they left more energized because they just had that connection and that feeling and that excitement. So that is really powerful, and we all know, and we've all felt that in some ways. Really, the utilization of the tools and the business presentations are where true leverage and success lie. If you think about it, one-on-one calls are great, but they take up a lot of your time, especially if you're going to spend a lot of time talking and sharing with the people. But if you can fill a living room full of 20 people and and spend that same hour that you would, or same half an hour that you would, talking to each person individually, you've really just leveraged your time and had a much larger reach about, the mission, about the company, about the product, and about your business. So, I truly feel like it's an amazing way to continue to build on that leverage. One of the most important things, too, to think about is, the ability to get people, a large group of people, to consistently do a few simple things over an extended period of time is one of the best formulas for financial independence in network marketing and direct sales. It truly is the best way, because if you can get a large group of people on your downline and your team to start utilizing these business presentations, and then they start using them, and then the person that joins at that business presentation or as a result of that business presentation then does their own RYBP because they will want to. That's how they joined, right? So they're going to want to do that same thing. That path will really create a great way to start building your business and to start helping your team build their businesses. And I know I have seen that firsthand. I have attended some little small RYBPs in living rooms now, and I was just saying to Lynn how I'm so excited to see her because we'll be going to Maryland to do them. We have a very large concentration of IWGs growing in the Baltimore area, so we have a lot of people who want to put us in their living room, and we're packing days full of these RYBPs to start training. And really, I've seen so many people who've joined as a result of one of those meetings in someone's living room, and then had their own meeting, and then they've had people join as a result of that meeting, and so those people are having meetings. It really is just a great way to expand the power of the leverage. So let's recap a little bit about inviting, because we've talked about how important it is, and then one of the most exciting parts for me is getting into our stories, and we're going to have a couple people on the call share their story as well as myself, and we'll outline a lot of that. But, some of the best rules for inviting that I've learned and that have really helped me get over any fears that I have and really detach from that outcome is, number one, emotionally detached. Really go into it with the thought of your goal to educate and empower people, and come to it with that attitude. Yeah, you want people to join, and yes, you want to get customers, but both of those things are going to happen if you provide value. So go into it emotionally detached. Don't go into it thinking that you need all 20 people to join you and that you'll be upset if they don't, or that you need 25% of the people to join you. That's not the attitude to go in with. Go in that you are going to educate and empower a room full of people and set them off on their own little journey to figuring out how to detoxify their homes. That is the goal. The second one is honestly be yourself. When you're inviting, don't just make it your own. Be yourself, be true, be authentic, and bring the passion that you have. Number 3, bring passion. Bring the passion that you have, and that's where your story is going to come in, because really that passion and your story about why Radiantly You for you is one of the most powerful tools that you have in your toolbox. I kid you not. It really is the best, and we'll talk more about that in a second. And the fourth is really bring a strong posture. Believe in yourself. Don't apologize. Stop apologizing. Don't say, I'm sorry to bother you. I wanted to invite you to. Don't. Just go in strong and believe in yourself. Say, and a great example is I've had a lot of people who've come to us from other companies. Maybe you have been with other companies before, or you've been in multiple other companies before, and maybe you were nervous about inviting people to your RYBP because, they know you as a different consultant. So you're like, how am I going to, reach out to all these people again? One of the best ways, to say it is to say, yes, I know I've been in other companies before, but I'm hoping that this will be the change that I'm looking for. And I'm sick and tired, of the life I've led, and I'm really dedicated to this change, and I've chosen this company. There's so many different ways to be powerful. It's such a more powerful stance when you say, I've decided to take charge of my life, and I really wanted, I know that network marketing, or I know that direct sales is a powerful vehicle to some of the goals and dreams that I have for my life. And this is the company that I've powerfully chosen to do so. There's so different, such a difference in the way that you present yourself when you go into it with that powerful attitude. I love just saying, be yourself, but be a bolder self. And be yourself, but be a stronger self. Go into it with that, even if you're role-playing or act like, you're acting, even if you're not that way yet, because eventually that will become who you are. And I really do believe that having that powerful invitation is so important. And really none of the details matter. As long as you detach, you go into it with a great, your goal to educate and empower, and that you are being yourself, that you're bringing your passion, and that you have a strong posturing because this is a great company, you love your business, and that this is a great fit for you. Go into it with that, and none of the details matter. If you fumble on your words, if you, mispronounce, if you don't tell them the right time or the right place, none of that really matters. It's all about the attitude that you have. So now I want to talk about your story. And I have asked a couple of people to share their personal testimonials with us this evening. And I'll recap a couple of things that those will include, and then I'm going to ask and see if Angie and Lucinda are on the call tonight, if they would be happy to share their story, or if they're able to. And then I know Lynn's on the call too, and I might ask her to share as well, because she's got a really, just her little elevator speech, if you will. Her story that she has is a really powerful one that she shared that I've really enjoyed listening to. So really your story is the most powerful piece. Like I said, it's really one of the best tools that you have in your toolbox. And your story really contains these 4 things. What was your life like before Radiantly You? Why did you join Radiantly You? Why Radiantly You? Why is this company a good fit? Why is this a decision that you've made? And why is this a business that you're building? And then that goes into the purpose. And this purpose is kind of twofold most of the time. It's you've got a personal reason, maybe it's a personal financial reason, personal goals and dreams that you have. And then almost always we have some altruistic reason for why. We want to help others detoxify their homes. We want to be a leader and help others onto, their path to financial freedom. Whatever those other altruistic thoughts are, there's usually 2 purposes involved there. And then the last thing, especially when you're giving a business presentation or you're talking to someone over the phone about Radiantly You, the other part to your story, which is really powerful, is the value that you bring. People want to know the value that you have for them, and not only because they can identify with it and you're validating them by giving them value, but also because, they can know how you and Radiantly You can help them. Because really, people do want to know that, especially if they're looking at something like Radiantly You in terms of a financial opportunity. They want to know that it's a good choice. but they also want to personally know what value you as a leader and as an IWG that would ultimately be their upline would bring to them and their businesses. So that's really another important element to the story. And honestly, I think it's probably one of the best ways to grow the best team for you, because as you're sharing your personal experience and talking to others about you personally and why you joined and what this means for you and what you're going to do with it and your purposes and your passions, then you're going to get people who have similar purposes and passions that are going to join your team, and that will be a good fit, because you don't want to have people on your team, necessarily that don't have those same passions and whose values don't align. So you're going to get people that are really drawn to you because of that level of rawness that you bring by sharing, your personal testimonial. And as a result, you're going to be a little bit more connected with those like-minded people. Those are people who want to work with you because they've made that choice to join your team. And they're people who want to help you reach your goals because you've just shared with them what your goals are. And, if someone were to say to you something really powerful and passionate, wouldn't you want to help them? And I know the answer is yes. And a great example of that would be you joining Radiantly You, because most of you heard my story and the fact that, when I was pregnant with Noah and going through my health coaching degree, I was really frustrated that no one was talking about the chemicals in our products. I loved that I was learning about them in our food, but no one was talking about that on a mass level. And even though I felt like I was healthy, I valued good health and I worked out and I, really tried hard to live a healthy lifestyle, I felt blindsided when I realized about all the chemicals in my home, because I had them in my home before. I was not perfect, since the very beginning. I wasn't the super, super crunchy mom who didn't have anything toxic in my home. I did. And I didn't know about it. And so, that was a powerful story. And I really want to not only educate, other people about that, but I want to help them reach their own goals, because I knew from the very beginning while I sat in a job that I couldn't do it. And I also knew that it wouldn't allow and afford me the life of being able to be with my kids as much as I want to be with them, because it goes so stinking fast, right? And I know more than anything in my entire world that I want to spend as much time as I can while they spending time with me. So, that was very important, and I knew I needed to find a way to do that. And I love this industry because it affords that. And I love that I can open up other people's lives and families' lives to realize that they can do the same. So you were drawn to that story, and as a result, you joined, and you're helping me in this mission to educate and empower the world about this all, and to be a part of it. So you can do the same exact thing by crafting your own story, and it's so awesome. It's just so cool. Not only that, but it builds trust. It really makes it credible because it's you. People trust that. It's a first-hand thing that they're hearing about, and they identify, they trust it. It's credible because you're standing right in front of them talking about it. They can ask you questions. It's amazing. And one of the best things that I love about it is it's not salesy. It's not salesy at all when I share my story with anyone, whether it's at the grocery store and the lady wondering why I have this crazy brigade of 3 kids midday and, are you a stay-at-home mom? Well, actually, no, but kind of. And I tell my story, and, it's not salesy. I'm not trying to get her to join Radiantly You, but she's so interested in it that she may be, a customer or something like that. But it's me sharing that story, and by being raw and open, it's not coming off as a sales pitch, because it's really not. It's me just sharing about myself and what I'm passionate about. So I would love to ask, Lucinda, are you on the call and able to?
Hi, Melissa. I'm here. I had to unmute.
Perfect. I figured. Would you mind sharing, it doesn't have to be super long, but just even a couple of minutes or whatever your time is, just a little bit of element of your story that you share with people that you talk to about Radiantly You, whether, it was at your event that you did or just even a phone call or a coffee shop get-together. What is it that your little blurb is of your story?
Sure. Well, I want to go back to Melissa, what you were saying about, I've been another companies previous to Radiantly You.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you were mentioning that, just being honest with people. And when I decided to become a part of Radiantly, that was something I have to be honest, I was really nervous about, because I had been in previous companies before, and I kind of felt like people were going to look at me like this used car salesman of direct mail companies, which was never my intention. But at the end of the day, I thought to myself, you know what, I need to do what's best for me, and I know that this is where I'm supposed to be, because I just loved everything about the company, and it really just hit me in my gut. So with my other friends that have known me for a while, known me in other businesses, I've said that to them. I'm like, this is so different, and I've had people approach me and say that they've noticed a difference in me, which has been really validating for me. They've come to me like, they're like, you look so different, you seem so happy, you seem so much later. So I just wanted to talk about that for a second, because I've had that experience. But I think when I talk to people, the thing I like, I don't know, I talk about the mission, because I think the mission is the thing that gets me really excited. And once I get talking about it, I kind of can't stop. And one of my favorite things that I like to tell people, and what I love so much about the company, is that Radiantly has this gigantic ripple effect. So it's so much more than selling product. There's all these different things that are being affected. I'm helping you to live a healthier life. At the same time as that product is going down your drain, it's not junking up our waterways even more and contaminating our earth further. At the same time, the company is giving back to 1% of the planet. At the same time, we're helping the farmers in West Africa who are harvesting all these wonderful ingredients in a sustainable manner and not ripping down forests. We're helping that community. So as a mom, I love to multitask, and this is like the best way to multitask, because I'm doing all these wonderful things at the same time, but also making a living for my family. So that's probably like the one thing I really enjoy sharing with other people. Like, that's my favorite thing. One of my favorite things about Radiantly is that there's this gigantic ripple effect from, just by, even if you just share it with other people, even if they choose not to buy, if they do buy, great. It's helping all these other things.
No, it's so true, and you're so right. And one of the coolest things, just because you mentioned the farmers, and I just got off the phone today with Aldad, and we were talking, and he had to call me. He was like, I had to call you right away because the farmers had a big celebration, and they were rejoicing because we just made another huge purchase of palm oil, the largest one that we have to date, and he was like, it was like they rejoiced because they are so excited. It just gave me chills saying that. They are so excited about what this is meaning and all that you are doing for the community and all the food. He said they just can't get over that their children are going to be fed. And, Nick and I are personally paying for a new teacher for the school this year. And he's like, it's just almost like this amazing, surreal thing, and they just keep having these celebrations of thanks. And it is amazing to think of that while we're here doing what we're doing, we are literally changing lives of an entire village, an entire community, by what, and it might seem small, but each sale contributes to that. And it's so amazing. I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing. Is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah, no, that was really it. It's just that people really do respond to that really well. Like when I just start, and I just, like I said, I start and I kind of can't stop, and sometimes I have to reel myself in and be like, all right, cut it, because I get really excited. But people really do. People just so connect with that more than anything else. And I think when I explain that to them, or when we just have a conversation, they see I'm not trying to sell them.
Sure.
I'm not trying to, it's really just about sharing what we're doing.
Sure. No, that's awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that analogy, too. And you know what? Honestly, if I had nothing to do with Radiantly You and you talked about that, I would be super attracted to that and want to know more and just want to, be a part of that in some level. So, you just drew me into you and to your cause and to your business as a result of what you just shared. And obviously, I already love it and am way into it anyway, but that is a very powerful piece. So you should always make sure that you keep that because that's unique and that's yours, and it's really where I could hear the excitement in your voice. so that, that draws it to me because I know that you're being honest. I know that you're authentic and you're passionate about it. So I love that. Thank you so much, Lucinda, for sharing
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you.
No, you're so welcome. Hey, Angie, are you there and able to mute, or are kiddos still up for you?
Yeah, I'm here, and they're quiet so far, so we can try
Awesome.
it.
Yay. Wonderful. How are you, Angie?
Very good. Thank you.
No, awesome. Do you mind sharing with everyone just your little blurb or story or whatever you want to share with them tonight about it?
Yeah, definitely. I'll just kind of share exactly what I say if somebody talks about it, my little 3-minute spiel, I guess.
Perfect.
So basically, I was not looking for any direct sales company whatsoever. I actually swore them off for a while. I had a bad taste in my mouth. And really, my last summer was dealing with health issues that came up. I suddenly, after there was an emergency birth of my second son, and I had tons of health issues come up and food intolerances, and my whole life was just flipped upside down, and I found out that I was reacting to the products I was using too, and chemicals in the home, and I've always been more natural minded and stuff, but it really took a shift when for the sake of my health, I had to find something different. Even the natural stuff at the store had gluten in it or this or that I would react to. And that was right around the time when my friend Amanda introduced me to Radiantly You. And I was floored because I'm like super picky, and I just had all these standards that I wanted in a product, and I didn't want to break the bank for it, and I was willing to make my own if I had to, but I didn't have the time for it. And so when I first encountered Radiantly You, I told my husband, I was like, hey, I found the products we're going to buy for the rest of our lives. And he didn't quite get why I was so excited, but it was just, everything checked out for me, which was kind of a huge deal because I'm not a pessimist, but I'm very detail-oriented when it comes to this kind of stuff in my home. And so I started using it, and then, light bulb kind of went off. I was like, I could sign up and get a discount since I am going to use this forever. And it was shortly after that, at first it was just a discount and maybe sharing with friends, kind of low-key. I was like, well, I could use the extra cash. And then getting to know you guys, getting to know the company, and then it was at actually a business event at Maggie McCracken's house when I met you, Melissa, in person. And
yep.
I felt that passion and that energy. That was the turning point, because then I saw the full picture of the company. It wasn't just about a good product that didn't make me sick. It was being able to stand behind something that, if I chose to create a company, it's exactly how it would look. And I was just floored at how fresh and authentic and how much character, and backbone the company had from every angle. I couldn't find anything negative to me. And so that was when I just jumped in, both feet. And ever since then, there's goals that I didn't even realize we had in our family because we just never had the financial impact to do it. And, I can see those dreams and goals appearing because of Radiantly You. And so it's just been absolutely phenomenal. And, my passion is still there. This summer we went visiting my parents, and my son ended up in the ER because of allergic reactions, and 2 doctors saw him, and they said they see it a lot. It is a chemical allergic reaction. The materials or the chemicals my dad was using in the lawn, he was just reacting to. And after that, I was just refueled my purpose and passion just to get this product out there, because people deserve better than chemicals that are making them sick. And so wow, I'm just really happy, really proud to be a part of it. So thank you, Melissa.
That's super powerful. No, you totally gave me full body chills about the kids, because, oh my goodness, and the grass and all of that. People don't even realize what they are doing. But no, that's crazy. And, one thing that I love, though, I remember meeting you. It was very, you stuck out, too, because you were so engaged during my presentation, and it was awesome, and I just connected with you there. And I think it's a really great example of, just speaking to people, whether it's on the phone, and especially if you can sit down with them face to face, that element, really does solidify things for people. And it did for you, and that's why you are this amazing IWG right now, and have an amazing team and a leader. And it's just those little things that really help validate, different parts of our process. So thanks, Angie. That was amazing. I love it. And it's exactly covered all of the elements that I talked about. It's a perfect example of one of those speeches. Thank you. Thanks so much. So, Lynn, are you there?
I am. Hi, Melissa.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm very good.
Wonderful.
I can tell you a little bit about me if you'd like to hear.
I would love to hear yours.
Thank you. I've been in network sales for over 40 years. I believe in direct sales. I was one of those people in Avon when I was 16 years old, and I'm 61 going on 62 now. And I've been allergic to everything. I just have really bad allergies. And ever since I was younger, I've always been trying to find the right products. And as I tried to find the right products, I've always been exposed to chemicals because I was told that there had to be parabens and there had to be preservatives in our products. And I have a granddaughter that goes into anaphylactic shock from peanuts. I mean, we're just really allergic people. And I always hated that. I always thought that, why can't I be like everybody else and just, be able to use the same products everyone else does, use Tide, use things that don't bother people that bother me. But now I'm happy because I'm glad that I wasn't exposed to all those toxins and all those chemicals because my body wouldn't accept them for all these years. But I'm sad that I've been snookered all these years, and I hate to use my, that's not a very great term, I guess. But I was at a fundraiser yesterday, and I went into the bathroom, and I'm so attuned to being lied to, and I hate to put it like that, but there's no transparency. We're lied to. And I went into this bathroom, and there was this huge bottle of hand wash. And on the front of it, it said 100% plant extracts. And I was like, okay, I'm going to turn this over and hope that this is a true statement. And I'm sure it was 100% plant extracts, but the first thing on the ingredients was SLSs, and I'm like, are they crazy? Like, do they think we believe these things? And it just makes me crazy. And I just want to help people have a better life with better products without getting sick. And it makes me so happy to know after all of these years that I found you and I found your products, and I love the business. I love what I'm teaching people, and I love the fact that you don't lie to us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, my
so
goodness,
much.
you're so welcome. Isn't it crazy how, and unfortunately it works because most people don't turn that bottle over. They don't take that extra time for that step to turn the bottle over, or if they do, they don't understand it, so it doesn't matter to them anyway. And it blows my mind, Lynn, and you're so right about how many companies use that front, product space to say natural or 100% natural or made with natural ingredients, or I love that when it just says made with natural ingredients. All that means is there has to be peanut butter. I think it was a granola bar or something that I saw that someone had with that on it, and the only natural ingredient I think was that it said peanut butter and oats, and that was like the only two natural ingredients. But you're so right, and I love that. One of the cool things, especially about you, Lynn, is that your story is changing. And not that it changes much. I mean, your passion, all the fundamentals, but as more and more occurs in your life or you see different things like that, you incorporate it in. And that's another thing I wanted to touch on, too, because, your story should change and evolve. I've added another pillar. Before we didn't have opportunity as a fourth pillar. We had, an extra natural versus natural truly means natural, and then transparency was one. And, I combined them because it's changing. It's emerging. It's evolving. And as I continue to change, so will my story. And I love that. So thank you so much, Lynn.
You're welcome.
Thank you for pointing that out. one of the last couple of things I want to talk about, just as you want to jot down, if you don't have your own story crafted, or you're looking at, really perfecting your story, or writing it out and really making it your own, here are some of the elements of a good story or personal testimonial. And the first one is what was your life like before Radiantly You? What was it like? What was the problem that you were looking to solve? And then why Radiantly You? How did it answer that problem? The third, like I said, the purpose, both personal, your own personal goals. Like I know I personally want to be financially free enough that I can take my children to Europe for a year. That's one of my goals, and I've actually set exact deadline for when I would like to do that. In 2020, I would like to go for a year to Europe with my children, perfect ages, and have them experience the world. So that's one of my personal goals, but altruistic is obviously to be the voice and the presence of educating and empowering our entire country and the world about the chemicals in the products that they use and how they are affecting our earth. So those are both of the purposes. And then the fourth, like I said, is the value. What benefit are you going to bring to people? What are you looking to provide them? And a couple of other things that you can add into that are just ways to make it relatable. As you're thinking about it, try to think of ways that you can relate to your audience and your audience can relate back to you, things that other people can relate to and agree with. Endorses key benefits of Radiantly You if you want to add in different ways some of the benefits, like Lynn saying that our products doesn't have those, and thank goodness, and it's the first company that she can, stand behind that really doesn't need sulfates and parabens and other things like that. And again, Lynn was a perfect example of that comparative quality too. Sometimes it's good to do comparisons. I'm not saying like slander other companies or say anything else, but by creating a comparison in a way in your story, either whether you're comparing your life before financially and after Radiantly You, or perhaps your life health-wise before and after, or, something that gives people a picture or something to compare the two different, sides of what you're saying to them so that they can form a better picture in their mind is really important. So I hope that you guys found this a really awesome and informational training. I appreciate you so much giving me 45 minutes of your evening. I know it's late for all of us East Coasters here. But these are great ways to start building, not only ways to invite and to build your mindset around these things, but also your story, because I swear that is the most powerful tool. And as you continue to sharpen that tool and to really start feeling comfortable and sharing that story over and over and over again, whether it's sitting at a coffee shop, on a phone call, or hopefully at your own RYBP, it's going to be one of the best ways to grow your business and attract the people to you that you want to be a part of your business. So I almost feel like there needs to be more pieces of this series as well, because it seems like 2 wasn't enough, and I want to talk more about the actual, meeting and ways that I can help, you guys do your meetings as well. I'm even considering maybe doing a couple of Skype trainings where you can see and I can do a presentation for everyone. But a lot of it really is the opportunity presentation. So if you're able to on Wednesday, please hop on the call and just hear more and more of other people's stories and ways that they present the business. It's probably one of the best training tools. And then if any of you would like to, do an opportunity presentation and record it and send it to me, or, if I have the time and ability to do it live, I would be happy to listen to critique and to help you build your presentation in the best way possible. And then, again, as we continue to grow and you grow your team locally, just like they did in Baltimore, I'm happy, to come out with my whole brigade and bring my kids and my nanny and everyone to come, just do a lot of presentations around your town for a period of days. So perhaps that can be a goal that you set for yourself to really, build your business, and a goal that you can make for yourself with maybe, towards the end of the year or something like that, or maybe not even that long. Maybe you can set that goal for October, November, based on where your business is. So thank you so much, everyone, for your time tonight. Again, I know I already said that, but I just want to thank you again, because I know how important it is for you to be, spending time with your family and friends. But I hope this gave you the tools please reach out if you have any questions. And even if you want to see more of these trainings or more, specific things attached to the RYBP, shoot me an email, melissa@radiantleader.com, and I'm happy to, compile those, put them together, and maybe we can add a couple more series on to the trainings for our events. So thanks so much, everyone. I hope you have a great, great night, and I appreciate everyone who shared their stories with us this evening. They were really powerful. Thank you so much. Have a great night, everybody.
You too.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.